Hey, thanks for coming back. And today I'd like to talk to you about another, well, camping lantern or camping light, if you will. And it's this one. It is the Warsun camping light. And that's like the box it comes in. Pretty plain. And as you can tell, there's the model number CP36. Inside the box, you get a very tiny charging cable. It's USB-C, USB Type C. And you get this little thing. This little tiny fold-out instruction manual, if you will, or user manual. And the printing is very, very small. You're going to need a magnifying glass or microscope to read that. This is the light itself. And here is a solar panel and with a bunch of fingerprints on it. And if you see this little green light right there, that means it's actually charging the unit. But these lights here, nothing else will go on. The lights below it here is when you plug it in, they'll all turn blue. Well, to indicate the battery charge. Okay, so like if you drain it completely, it'll just, this green one is also a blue light. And then it'll slowly go up until it's full. And it'll stay a steady blue light when it's 100% full. These are color temperature numbers right there. And you can fold it. It has this little loop here so you can hang it. Or you can have it setting down or whatever. On the bottom is a tripod mount. Right here, this is normally supposed to have a silicone flap on it. I lost it. I know. But you have a USB Type A, USB Type C. The C port is basically for charging. And yes, you can use this kind of as a power bank, if you will. And then you got two buttons here. This is the main power button. The one that says CT. That is color temperature. So once you turn it on, which you're really not going to see here, and if I wouldn't drop it, but if you press the CT, well, you can see how it kind of turns orange because you can kind of make it either the cold white, what it's referred to as, where it's just a pure white, or you can add a little bit of warmth to it with the orange type. Now, they claim a 5-hour charge time, and, well, I found that's not necessarily true. If you use this thing until it goes, until it shuts off, it takes a little bit longer than 5 hours. It could be 6, 7, or 8 hours. They claim a 4,800 milliamp hour battery in here, and since it's sealed, I have no way to judge that. Now, they claim runtime is 6 to 40 hours. More on that in just a moment. The max lumen is allegedly 800 lumens for the brightest mode. And there's no other lumen rating they give for any of the other modes, like low and medium and the color temperature, the orange light. They don't give you any lumen ratings for that. Now, when I was reading specs on it, especially on Amazon, they were saying, one part would say it's 1,000 lumens, and then when you read a little bit further, it says 800 lumens. So I'm just going to stick with the 800 lumens. It is with the flap, don't lose it, which is kind of disturbing because it came out kind of easy. And I wish it was a little harder for it to pull out, but they claim IPX5 water resistant, so that means, a nice decent little rain, light rain type of a thing. You don't want to submerge the light into water. Now, there is a total of 50 LED lights in here. There's 30 white LEDs and 20 of the orange. There is a few light modes like cool white, natural, soft, and warm. Soft, I would imagine, would mean the lower levels. And, like, in combination, well, you can't see it on camera. When you turn the light on here, like this one, now if I were to press the CT, you really can't see it. it does kind of turn warmish because some of the orange lights turn on as well. So there's allegedly nine, or a couple good different brightness levels, 3 eco, well, low, medium, high, as you've seen. The input level is 5 volts, 1 amp, and that's important. That the input level is what you need to charge it. Now, if you're going to try using like a 20, 30, 65, 100 watt charger, blah, 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 it's not going to work. These lights will not turn blue. I actually have a couple of older chargers, one that's 5 volts, 1 amp, and one that's kind of variable. It's 5 volts and up to 2.4 volt or 2.4 amps. That will work to charge this up. Of course, your basic USB port from your computer or whatever, that'll charge this up as well. So keep that in mind. You can't use a fast charger on this thing. The output level of the power bank is 5 volts, 1 amp. So it's not the best or quickest way to charge a device, but at least it's there for an emergency. The solar panel is 5.5 volts at half a watt to charge this thing. So yeah, it'll take forever for you to rely on the sun to charge this thing up. Now, with just the white light, on high, I got 4 hours and 10 minutes. Medium brightness is 8.5 hours, and on low, I got 16 hours. With the orange light, like with the warm and stuff like that, high was 6 hours. That's just the orange light. The medium, meaning the white and the orange, I got 10 hours, 3 minutes. And on low, with meaning the white and the orange lights, I got 31.5 hours out of this thing. So I don't know where they get the 40 hours from, but on the white with the combination of the orange lighting, I got 31.5 hours out of this. Okay, so let me get you to the test video, and I'll come back and give you my final thoughts. Now, the test video, I did it kind of quick. It's still going to be a little long. Well, you'll see it. Here's the test video. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the test video. So what do I really think of the Warsun CP36 Camp Light? It's not a bad light. You do get some decent run times out of it. I like how it's nice and small. I like the built-in little, I don't know what you want to call it, stand, hanger, whatever. I like that they do include a tripod mount in case you want to put it on the tripod to have it kind of up high, whatever. But one thing I did notice is the charging port. I don't know if it would come up on camera. It's not the tightest fit, especially with the cable they give you. It's a little loose. It's a little wonky, so don't go jamming it in there really hard and stuff. That to me is the weakest part about one of the weakest parts of the light itself, is that the charging port doesn't feel as strong as it should be. So it may end up breaking, or you may end up having trouble with it. The solar panel is a nice little gimmick. I don't think, I mean, come on, 5.5 volts at half a watt to charge it. This would probably take you a couple of days to get it fully charged in direct sunlight. Well, maybe a full day or something like that. But I never bothered trying to test it on that because it took me a week and a half just to test all the run times. Because, you know, not only did I, once it actually, because how I did my testing is I turned it on and just left it there until it shut off. It does dim down a little bit as it gets closer to it shutting off, but once it shut off, I gave it about 10 minutes to kind of cool off in case the battery was running warm. Then I plugged it in to charge it up. And yeah, there was plenty of times where it was a lot longer than 5 hours. I got up to 8 hours personally charging this thing up, okay? But let's get back to what I think of it. It does put out a lot of good light. That I really do like. I do like how I was able to get 31.5 hours. Like I said, you set it on low, and then you got to go through the color. You know, once you set it on low, you press the CT button, and I really wish this camera on the iPad would have showed it better. But there's some orange lights, right? 1, 2, 3, and 4. And that's the one I got the 31.5 hours runtime off of. And it does light up pretty good, even on that low setting, so you could definitely see what the heck you're doing. So it's not bad for that. Would I use this as a main light, or suggest you use it as for like the main source of lighting? No, I would not. This is a great backup lighting. If you're doing vlogging at night or something, or doing videos like that, and you want some extra lighting just for videos or something, or photography, it'll be really great for that. But as a main source of light, I would not get it for that. I would get this more like as a backup, or a secondary, or a third type light to have in your arsenal, if you will. Mainly because the long charging times, or the inconsistent charging times that I've had with this thing, and that the port doesn't feel as strong as I would like it to be. It's a little wonky, it's a little shaky. So I think that there's a problem there. So Warsun, look into that. Lastly, the flap. I mean, it was easy for it to pop out. And I meant to put it back in, but I kind of lost it. But it popped out real easy, and that's kind of a problem, especially if you're going to be using this outdoors and you accidentally knock the thing off. This is all exposed now, so you're really going to have to make sure you don't get that thing wet. So as a secondary source of light, or a third source of light type of a thing, you know, backup of a backup of a backup, it's great for that. If you don't plan on using it outdoors and just maybe inside your house, it's not bad for that. But there are other ones out there that cost the same, if not less, that'll do the same thing. So right now, I'm just going to leave the decision up to you. If you would like to get the Warsun camping light, the CP36, that's up to you. Me personally, I would not recommend it as a main source of lighting. That's where I'm going to leave it. It's not, for what you get, it's not a main source of light in this thing. Great for a backup, or just to have maybe in your glove box type of a thing, but not your main source of light. But I know I keep saying it's better to have some kind of light than no light at all. But to rely on this, I would have to say no. Get something else. Buy the light as a secondary light or like a backup type of a thing. You should always have a backup, but that's what this would be good for, is a backup type light, not a main source of lighting. And if you happen to like this video, please give it that thumbs up. If you haven't done so yet, please subscribe to my channel and do not forget about that notification bell. It would really help me out a lot if you were to share this video and maybe a few more of my others on all of your social media. And until the next video, you, your friends, your family, and yes, even all of your pets, you all have a great day. I'll see you in the next video.